gosh, like I'm certainly not saying I am off like booking everything that I audition for. You know what I mean? But I think part of it, is definitely just getting more of a relationship, a familiarity with casting. It's a huge part of it.
Yep.
Now, if you were to shoot him right over to me, I could probably be done with him by tonight.
But, you learn things from Stella Adler. There's so much stuff you can learn from all those techniques. So I do feel like it really provided us kind of this like toolkit and that you could try on things and work kind of that muscle and see what fits for you. Because every actor is so different.
Right.
Yeah.
So
this doesn't happen in Keo.
It just did.
it doesn't have to be something big.
Yeah. Like, you're right. It can be like a micro step if it's in the right direction.
Absolutely.
If it's like aligning with, what really fills you up.
Yeah. All right, guys, we are back with another episode. It's been a while. If this is your first time, guys, checking us out, listening to our podcast, make sure to follow us on TikTok, on Instagram. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all that. But we have a special guest for you guys today. How's it going, Dani? Dani Alvarado, everyone.
I was like, did you forget who you were interviewing for a
No,
second?
I didn't.
I wouldn't hold it against you. It's okay.
I didn't. Dani Alvarado is in the house. I've been trying to have her for like a little while, but she's been...
We're just like ships passing in the night.
I know. I'm glad that we actually finally got her to work. It's been... I know. We've been busy. We've been traveling.
Yeah.
I've been busy as well, but we got it. We're here. We're
No,
finally in the
you know
studio.
what? It's so lovely to meet you because you're so warm. I feel like we've met before. Like I instantly were like, do I know you? But no, just through the gram.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. That's a really good compliment. Okay, so let's get that episode up and running. So I was actually looking at your IMDb, honestly. So impressive. Like I didn't even know that you had so much going on. That's crazy. Okay. We're gonna get into that, but first let's just maybe it's overwhelming.
You've done your research. It's so nice.
I have. Yeah, I always do my research. I don't just like call up my guests, be like, yo, let's freestyle this. I mean, sometimes we do freestyle too, but okay. So just like take us back through the beginning of you like being an actress. I know you said you're from Alberta. Did you start acting there? Like, what was happening in Alberta? What did you do before leading up to this?
Yeah.
Take us through the ride.
Sure. So I'm from Calgary, and I wish I could say like it was something that I like just kind of tumbled into later in life, and it just kind of got momentum. But unfortunately, no, it was something I just always wanted to do. Like, to be totally honest, I can't recall a time that I didn't want to act.
Right.
Yeah, I just remember being like a very, very little kid and just thinking, oh my gosh, that just looks like so much fun. And I was obsessed. My mom had a movie called A Room with a View, which is a movie that probably came out before we were born.
A Room with a View.
A Room with a View. I think it's like a Merchant Ivory movie.
Okay.
And I remember like I would watch it when I was like 4, and I was just like, it's a very dry period piece. It's not something...
Right.
attuned to like a 4-year-old, but I loved it, and I was like, oh gosh, I want to do that. Like I had this sense that those were actors, and I thought, oh, I just really want to do that. But being in Calgary, I think it's changed somewhat. I think more and more stuff is being shot there, but at least at the time, it felt to me a bit like wanting to be an astronaut. It just felt so out of reach, and so I very much wanted to do it, but I was maybe a little bit coy about it.
I can relate to that feeling as well. That like acting, like I don't know, like it seems like something extravagant, something
it can almost feel a little bit
scary.
It's scary, but almost grandiose if you announce it to your friends, like, oh, I want to be an actor. I had this notion that maybe it felt like like I was kind of mighty on myself, like, who are you to do this big thing, which it shouldn't be that way, obviously. But so I always wanted to do it, but I kind of like I didn't really like pursue it in Calgary. I wasn't like a kid that was like out on like the theater scene or anything. But I would try to like, maybe I would take like a camp here and there for like an acting class, or, maybe I would do like one school play, but I wasn't even like a diehard, theater kid in high school.
Right.
But I was getting my stuff ready, as I was getting close to graduating from high school, and I was thinking, okay, what do I want to do? And I was thought, well, maybe do I want to go maybe like journalism or, I really enjoy studio art as well. So I was looking at maybe getting like a portfolio together, and I was going to apply to some schools in New York. And my dad could tell that I was a little bit, I don't know, maybe just I didn't seem like super excited about that application process. And so he was like, hey, well, what do you really want to do? And I kind of fessed up, oh, I really want to act.
Right.
And so he's like, well, you know what?
What did he say?
It wasn't a shock to them. Like they knew that I wanted to do that.
Coming.
They saw it coming. They
Really?
just didn't really know what to do to support me in
Right.
that. They weren't like calling up an agent or anything.
So they didn't talk you out of it? Nothing. They were like,
No, at least
for it.
it's not in that moment.
Okay.
My dad, he was just like, okay, well, you can go to school for that, I guess. And my sister was going to BU at the time, and I think like one of the heads of drama had moved to this other school in New York.
Yeah.
And so he had heard about it, and he was like, you could go audition for the school.
Yeah.
So I did. I auditioned, and then I got in, and yeah, I mean, the rest is history.
Love it. That's so
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. So how did you? So you said you went to New York.
I did. Yeah.
You said you studied there, or is that what you did?
Yeah, I studied. I went to a theater school, so straight theater, not musical theater.
Right.
Yeah.
So, walk us through like how did so how long were you in Calgary, and then when did you move to New York, and when did you come here? Like how did it all?
Yeah. So I graduated high school and then immediately moved to. Well, originally I was going to go to a sister school in Los
Right.
Angeles, but I don't know. My parents were nervous about the area that it was in and the
mine
living
too.
situation because I was so young. So I ended up transferring, and then I went to the school, American Academy of Dramatic Arts, in New York,
Nice.
and so I was there from just out of high school, and I was there, I want to say close to 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least 3.5, which was so
So you did
magical.
like their whole full-time diploma program thing, right?
Yeah, I did.
Crazy. I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah. It was honestly so wonderful.
Yeah.
Like I remember that feeling of going to this school, and it kind of felt like, remember that show Fame? It's like an
Yeah.
old show. I never even watched it, but I would like see like little
Right.
snippets of it,
Right.
and I felt like, oh, must be what Fame is like.
Right.
Because all the
That's
kids,
how they feel. Like yeah.
yeah, because all the kids are rehearsing in the hallways, and
Crazy.
and I was like, oh my gosh, this was the first time I felt like
Right.
you were in the company of so many people who shared this love. Yeah, and that was such a new experience for me coming from Calgary, and
Love it.
and people weren't kind of embarrassed by it.
Right.
Yeah, like they just wanted to be actors, not because they wanted to be famous, but just because they really loved acting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, exactly. I mean, it's that's the thing about like film school. It's just like everyone is just there for that. So like, it's not like, oh, let me go to like drama school and let's test it out. And no, like people go to drama. I mean, drama school is really expensive. Like I mean, everyone knows that.
Yeah.
It's obviously more expensive than like regular classical bachelor degrees you would get at university or something.
Yeah.
So obviously like it's not something you would just go to test it out and like see if it's for
Yeah.
you. Like I mean, there's a lot of money on the line, so you gotta think it through and be like, yo, this is what I want to do. So,
Yeah. I mean, New York is very expensive,
especially
obviously.
New York too, right? So,
Yeah.
So what did you learn in that film? I mean, like you went to film school for like 3 years. I mean, did
Yeah.
you feel like you were like a stronger actor after this? Like, how did you come out of it? How did you feel like coming out of it?
Yeah, I didn't have extensive training beforehand. Like I had done kind of like I said, just some classes here and there, but nothing super serious.
Right.
And so I was kind of coming in blind, and I do feel like generally, it really laid such a great foundation. And there was a variety of different approaches to acting in that work, so they had the Stanislavski method or more of a Meisner approach.
So they teach you all these different methods.
Yeah, it's,
okay.
depending what teachers you had, some of those teachers were more loyal to certain methods.
Okay.
And I found for me, the thing that I loved the most was probably more of the Meisner approach, where you're just really listening and you're just really being connected and present. And I enjoyed that the most. I felt that like that was the most gratifying for me.
Really, yeah.
But you learn things from Stella Adler. There's so much stuff you can learn from all those techniques. So I do feel like it really provided us kind kind of this like toolkit, and that you could try on things and work kind of that muscle and see what fits for you, because every actor is so different.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So you graduated from that, and then did you stick around New York? Like you came back to Calgary? Did you just move straight to Vancouver? How did it?
Yeah, so I graduated. They were doing a conservatory program, which I was funny. I think I was just kind of like hungry to, audition, to be honest, because you sign
on top of the one that you were already in, right? That's something else.
On top of it. So
crazy, yeah.
If you want to continue and just do the company, you basically audition for that company, and then you sort of just do plays with the company of the school.
Okay.
So originally I had entered school thinking, I really want to do the company.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you enter school, you're not allowed to audition. They kind of make you sign this thing that you're not going to audition while you're in school.
Really? Okay.
And I don't know if they still do that, but I think their reasoning was they didn't want you maybe to be, they want you to be focused on school, and they maybe don't want you to be kind of coming out a little prematurely into like that realm. They wanted you to be sort of ready.
Yeah. Because in this type of industry, like sometimes you don't get a lot of shots. So like you really want to pick your shots when you audition and stuff. You don't want to make yourself look bad or anything.
Totally.
So,
and then the school would do this thing, which I'll be honest, I don't know if I really agree with this. I just don't think it's the most conducive to learning and thriving as an actor. But they would cut the students. So they would cut a portion of kids, and basically,
what do you cut them?
You would no longer be able to attend the school. So they would make us, So they would trim the class size before the program starts. No, during the middle of the program. So after like a year or so,
that's crazy.
They would do that. I don't know if they're still doing this, but they would make us, go through the curriculum, go through the year, and then they would put on these plays that were sort of like exam plays.
Okay.
So you would get cast in different plays, and the faculty would come to watch all of them, and then basically at the end of all these exam plays, they would vote, and you had to get enough votes basically to continue on to the next year.
Wow. So if you didn't make it after that, like, you're not it. Like
but you know what? Crazy. Yeah, it was crazy.
It was so crushing for the
people. It would totally. Oh my gosh, completely. And it's not like you're like, you hear rumors of like John in like class, whatever, he left. Yeah. It's like, no, a lot of your peers suddenly are no longer enrolled with you.
Wow.
So many people that I was friends with, didn't, got cut, unfortunately. And, I think there were some people that I don't think were deserving of that. I think they were fantastic. And most importantly, they loved it.
I guess it also like speaks of the competitive nature of the thing. Like, I guess if you're saying that like these people were good, I mean, that speaks of like the level of the other people as well, right? So that's crazy. It's a very competitive space.
Yeah, and maybe I don't know if they were trying to prep us for like the landscape that is this industry. I'm not sure.
Right. Yeah.
But I will say this. I don't. It's so subjective.
Right.
And
it really is,
yeah, and there were people, like I said, who got cut that I didn't feel like was deserving of it. There was someone in particular. His name's Mamadou Ati.
Okay.
And I remember he did get cut, and he just seemed like he had such a great heart for acting and a love of it, and he was studious, and I thought he was he was great.
Right.
And he got cut, and the irony is he ended up having a really successful career. If you look him up, he's done probably better than anyone else in our class.
Wow.
And he ended up going on.
Mamadou Ati, you said?
Mamadou Ati, yeah. Okay. He's American, but I think his family's Nigerian, maybe.
Gotcha, yeah.
But he's done really well. And it just goes to show, like, one person's no, you know what I mean? People,
it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you're more than maybe he grew a lot later and became this incredible actor, but he had the goods to begin with. And I think more importantly, he had a heart for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So when you get cut, do they just send you home? Like,
well, it's kind of
get thrown into like a second.
No. Yeah, you're eliminated from the program. So
wow.
The year ends and you're not invited back, basically.
I can't imagine, like, how do you put yourself back? You put yourself back up, like.
I know.
I just got cut. Like, I mean, it must like make you like reconsider. Like, wait, is this for me?
I know it's really like demoralizing, and I just
It really
again
is.
like
I can't even imagine like what people must have felt like when they got cut. They didn't make the cut.
yeah, I mean, acting is such a fragile thing. This industry is
I
full
mean,
of
like,
so much
it's not
heartbreak.
like
You shouldn't get it like that out the
we already
gate.
get rejected 99% of the time.
Yeah.
Like, like when we audition. So like there's also that too. Like
Yeah.
I get rejected when I'm trying to study. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, you're like, I'm just trying to study. Come on. But maybe, you know what? Maybe it just like, I
Maybe
don't
it's
know.
to prep you to the rejection nature of the thing. Maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's what I mean. Or maybe it just like for the right person, maybe it was like it lit the fire under them and they were like, I'm going to be resilient. And because there you go, like Mama
Sometimes-
Do obviously was. And
Yeah, I mean, he's good. Apparently,
he's doing
right?
incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I agree. Sometimes like there's like different ways of taking this, right? So if someone tells you like, hey, you didn't make the cut, you can either like kind of just embrace it, be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go home and just change career, or just take it with a grain of salt, be like, you know what? Nope, I'm gonna work my ass off, and I'm gonna come back, or I'm gonna do this and that.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. So I really credit to those people who continued after something like that.
Good for them.
And it just goes to show, like,
doesn't
they didn't know.
mean-
Yeah, they didn't know what they were missing when they cut those people.
Yeah, yeah. You didn't believe in me back. You didn't believe in me then. Look where it got me.
Yeah.
Thank you for cutting me off. Like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have my break if you didn't cut me off.
Yeah.
Love it. So, when did you come to Vancouver? How did that happen?
Yeah. So I kind of got encouraged to come to LA. I had a friend who was like doing like modeling, nothing like, nothing super high fashion, but she was like, you should come and like do some modeling or something in LA. And so I kind of got encouraged because she had a manager at the time for
So you
like,
did move to LA.
I did.
Okay.
So I came, my mom's American.
Took her up on the offer.
Yeah. My mom's from California.
Right.
So I kind of came out to LA and then ended up kind of thinking, okay, well maybe I should stay there. I was babysitting for some actors not in Vancouver, in New York at the time.
Yeah.
And they're like, look, if you want to like maybe work in film and TV, you probably will need to go to LA at some point. You might as well go while you're young. So just go do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I
It's the
did.
right time to try.
Yeah, so I did. And then I met a woman who had a talent agency up here. And so she was like, hey, like I realized you're also Canadian. You should really come up to Canada and to Vancouver.
Okay.
There's a lot of work up here and maybe it'll be a great
So you
place
met
to
her
get some
in LA,
credit.
and she said like she told you like, hey, let's
Yeah.
bring her back up to Canada.
Yeah, she kind of was encouraging
build
me
you, like-
to go relocate to Canada. And
Wow.
so I kind of took her advice
I mean,
yeah.
What were you feeling at the time? Like your friend just told you like, hey, come do modeling in LA. You're like, okay, whatever. We'll try, I guess.
Yeah,
Then
I
you
mean,
get-
I'm like not a tall girl, so I knew there wasn't a real potential for me in that.
Yeah. I guess there's also like, exactly these like physical stuff as well.
Yeah.
So you went to LA and you're like, okay, so I guess now I'm moving back. Like that's just like, did you give it some thoughts, or you like, okay, yeah, this agent said like we gotta move back up and.
Well, so I came out first to LA, and that was more like my friend. She had like a modeling rep and whatever, and she was like, "You should get move." And then I liked the city, and I was kind of ready just for a change.
Right.
And heeding the advice of those actors that I knew that were older, working in New York, I was like, okay, maybe I need to do it. So then when I had moved fully to LA, met this other manager, who was a talent agent or owned a talent agency up here. So I kind of was just, I don't know, I guess I was just open to it because I just wanted to, I wanted to work and get my toes wet. And is that the expression? Toes wet, feet wet.
Yes. Yeah, if you're taking the water.
Yeah.
And it makes total sense. You want to say yes to all the opportunities that come up. I mean, anything to get your foot in the door, I guess.
Totally.
So you came here and then you signed with that person, or did you kind of just went?
Yeah, I did sign with them. And then I came up here and I started taking an acting class at Ben Ratner Studios.
I love Ben.
Yeah, isn't he awesome?
Yes.
I haven't
He
seen
goes
him
by
in a
Ben
really long
Emmanuel now,
time.
but 'cause there's
Oh, yeah.
There's like another Ben Ratner apparently. I had no idea.
Yeah. I guess that is a bit unfortunate.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, I love Ben.
Yeah.
I actually took a class with him not long ago.
Oh, no way.
It was not this month, last month. because this month I'm doing like another round with like Aaron. But I love Ben. Like I always like go to him
Yeah.
every now and then.
Oh, no way. Okay. Oh, very
He's
cool.
very good.
Very good. Yeah, he's honestly, I haven't seen him in a very long time. I should jump back into a class.
Or even just go and say hi. Honestly.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
harm,
But I'm so grateful to him because I was taking a class of his, and I can't really exactly remember how like the conversation came up, but one day after class, he kind of approached me and he was like, "Hey, like, you know."
So Ben approached you?
Ben approached me after doing my scene or whatever after class, and he was like, "Hey, I don't know if he even remembers this, but he was like, "Hey, you know, you're really good. I think you should be with someone else to rep you." And he was like, "If you're looking like to maybe move, there's someone that I think you should reach out to. This guy, he's an agent, blah blah blah." So he referred me to my agent now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
Who are you with now?
I'm with Murray Gibson at Red.
Red. Oh, I love Murray.
Yeah, isn't he great?
Okay, I don't know him well, but like, I mean, I can literally show you like I've never seen. I mean, if you're watching this, honestly, like props. Like I've never seen an agent being so kind. Like I applied with him, I think 2 times, but like he was so nice.
He's so nice, right?
And the way he said no.
Yeah.
I was like.
Yeah, he's a good person.
Yes, he took the time to like craft this email.
Yeah.
It's not like an automated message where like
hey, or like they don't get back to you.
It's like, hey man, I really like your material. I think like it's not the right time right now, but like I felt like he wanted, but it's just not the right time.
Yeah, and that's so much it. You know, all this industry is timing. Really.
Yes. No, the reply email, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I was really like he seemed like a really cool dude.
He is. He's lovely, and I'm so appreciative of him.
Yeah.
You know, taking a chance on me because at the time I didn't have any credits.
Yeah.
And you know, he had definitely like some much bigger and still does much bigger fish on his roster. So that's why I say like I
wouldn't say it's a small fish.
No, I mean, but I'm still like everything's relative, right? I'm a minnow. But
small fish guy.
No, guys.
3 pages worth.
No. But at the time I didn't have any credits, and you know, I was just from a theater background, which is very different than film and TV. I had a lot to learn, and so that's why I'm really appreciative to him and to Ben Ratner.
Yeah.
Again, I don't even know if you would remember this, but he really helped me.
Yeah. No, I mean Ben is very supportive. I like his style. You know, like where he really. What I love about Ben is that he really gets invested.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
Like, I've tried obviously like other acting coach and instructors, and Ben really gets invested sometimes in the scene, right? Like he gets up, he gives you like ideas, and like it's almost like he gets like emotional, even like frustrated if you don't get it. Like he wants you to get it. Like he wants you to get it so bad, right? Like it's amazing.
What's the acting coach in LA that I know he's like a really at least when I went, I think he was like a big fan of, oh my gosh, what is her name? I'm drawing a blank, but
sorry for what?
There's an acting technique kind of led by this woman in LA, and he's a big fan of hers.
Ivana Chubbuck.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
The power of the actor.
Yeah. I feel like he's very much of that.
12 steps. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love her. No, Ivana's great. I mean, her book is really, really. It's my favorite book. Like for when it comes to acting, like it's just the 12 steps that she came up with.
And that's kind of more like doing the homework and the written approach.
Yeah. It's all things that you already know, but they're written in a way that, like, you know, like it reminds you, like, yes, like you need to have all those things.
Yeah.
But yes, Ben did train with Ivana. I mean, Ivana, Stella Adler, Larry Moss, they all trained together with the.
Yeah, they did.
And then they kind of like just all branched out and started their own thing, but they all came from the same training, the same master.
No, and I think there's so much richness that comes out of that work as an actor. If you take that time to do those things, all those specifics, it just kind of endows the character for you, or like the experience for you. You know what I mean? It makes it feel more real, and there's all this stuff like that you kind of subconsciously even will just kind of be like pull from, or that will hit you. Yeah. You know what I mean? As you're doing the work. Yeah.
Totally. Love it. Okay, so I mean, let's go back to this.
Oh gosh,
we're not gonna go through each one, but I mean, I do want to go back to the previous ones. I mean, obviously, like I'm looking at this, and there's a lot of credits in there. So again, it's really impressive. It's really inspiring too. Did you hit it right from the start, or kind of like it just did you like? How did it happen for you? Like you started auditioning, you get a lot of
Yeah.
rejections, and then something clicked, and you're like, oh, okay, I needed to fix this, and then things changed, or you were pretty much just good to go. So when you started auditioning, what happened?
So I'm trying to remember. You know, I was auditioning a little bit here and there before I had moved to Vancouver. You know, like whatever I can kind of get my hands on, like through like Backstage or like, you know, Actors Access. I'd like self-submit.
Backstage is a really good website, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, like I would kind of go on all these like kind of those casting networks type of thing, and whatever I could get my hands on, and I would audition. But oh my gosh, no! I mean, there was like hundreds of no's, and then you get like the one yes.
Yes.
Let's
talk about the one yes as well for a second here.
Yeah.
How did that one yes? I mean, you took a lot of no's, right, in the beginning.
Yeah.
So walk us through the feeling of that one yes. That happened. I don't know. Tries later.
Gosh, you know, you know what's funny is I can't. I'm trying to think specifically recall what like my first like yes felt like big, you know, yes felt like, but I think like I can remember more vividly my first kind of like network TV yes.
Right.
And so it was with Murray.
Yeah.
And I don't, you know, I'm trying to think now. I don't think I was fortunate that I don't think I had been doing tons and tons and tons of auditions yet. I was, don't get me wrong, I had a fair share of rejection, but it wasn't like years or anything like that.
Right.
But it'd been some months. And then I remember I booked a job on Motive, and I remember I was driving to have like a little holiday in Seattle, and I was like approaching the border patrol, like, and I get this call from Murray, and I picked it up, and I remember he was like, "Hey, so good news," and then he was like, "We broke the seal."
We broke the seal. Okay.
Like we got a hit, you know. So I was so excited. I remember like I pulled over to the gas station and
you fucking jumped.
Yeah, and I was like, yes. I to me it just like I was on like cloud nine, and you know it was.
God, that's so.
Cool.
That's amazing. That's so.
It was
cool.
one episode, but for me it felt like such a huge win. You know,
of course.
Yeah, it just felt like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I get to do this thing.
So the Motive you said, so is that on there? Like how long ago was this?
This is like, oh my gosh, so long. Yeah, like this is before I even was like living here more like full time, you know?
Right. Because I'm also like seeing the Exorcist files.
So that stuff was when I was self-submitting in the US by myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I mean the list goes on. Right?
Yeah.
Motive. Okay. Sick.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which was such a fun. It was a really fun shoot, and it was a great experience.
Nice.
But then, you know what? Like I felt like, I maybe booked a few other things like after that, and then I felt kind of like it went through a little bit of a lull because at the time I was like, I need to spend some more time maybe back in the States, like with family stuff, and I did kind of feel like,
because you said your mom lived there, right?
My mom's from there, so my mom's family's all there. My husband is from there, so you know what I mean? Like it was just kind of.
With your husband at the time?
I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So we were dating when I first started coming up to Vancouver, and then married, and
Love it. Yeah.
But so I did feel like, to your point of like, you know, did you feel like you were always just booking? No, I definitely felt like I kind of hit a bit of a lull when I kind of stepped back and was spending more time in the States.
Right.
And this is obviously before like you could tape an audition and whatnot. You had to really be physically here all the time.
True.
So that I did feel like some of the traction maybe that I started to get kind of dissipated. Yeah.
Do you feel like you changed something in the way you were like in the way you were doing things in your routine, or you feel like it was more like you needed to really just like do this to get like so they can get used to your face and your acting, for them to actually take a chance on you? Like did something change in the way you were acting that you felt like, okay, maybe I was being too, I don't know, I was being grounded enough, or maybe I wasn't being in the present enough or something?
I mean, that's a great question. You know, I mean, it's something like, gosh, like I'm certainly not saying I am off like booking everything that I audition for. You know what I mean? But I think part of it, is definitely just getting more of a relationship, a familiarity with casting. It's a huge part of it.
Yep.
And showing up and you know, doing the work. But I also think, you know, as I kind of got, you know, grew in this career and got more and more opportunities, and like the years went on, I think like things became less precious. And I don't know if that's just part of like, with age. Yeah. But you start to realize, I feel like I keep spiking your camera. You start to realize like, I can, you know what I mean? Like I'm going to show up and hopefully do my best work.
Yeah.
But I got to surrender this
on
some level. That's all I can do is I can show up and be present and be alive, but I got to like let go of it.
Yep.
And I think the more you're able to do that and kind of surrender it, the more, for me at least, the more like relaxed I am, the more spontaneous I am, more present. Not that I don't care and not that I don't want it, but I think there's like a level of like flexibility that comes from not holding on to something too tightly.
Yep. Very well said. I mean, as you said, like, the less fucks you give and the more, the less in your head and the more like, the less you think about it, the more present you're going to be. And, you gotta just trust the work, right? Like, it's also like the last step in Ivana's book is just to let it go.
Right? That's just it. Like, I think it's wonderful to do all that preparation if you can. Sometimes, unfortunately, with an audition, the turnaround time doesn't allow you to do that, right? I mean, it would be great too, but you just sometimes don't have the time.
Yeah, you don't, yeah.
But we all know how to be a human being.
Yep. That's true.
I know to be a human being, you do. Like, so if I can just know the context of like what is happening in this scene, what's happening in the story, in this character, I'm showing up as me. I am the character.
Yep.
But I'm just living in completely different circumstances. How would I be in these circumstances?
Correct. Yeah.
And there's no wrong or right way of doing it. But for these 30 seconds or maybe, 4 minutes that I have, this role, it's mine. It's not an audition. It's just an opportunity to be present and live this experience.
Yeah. I think you touched on a really, really good point because I think, but I definitely like one of my, was it like a friend who said this or like one of my coaches? But someone said it in my entourage that when you get an audition, and especially back then when you used to go
I just love, by the way, that you said entourage. It's so awesome.
I said like in French, entourage.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Entourage.
Entourage.
Entourage. French, entourage.
It's good. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
It is. Whenever I see like one of those like words that are like ménage à trois, I can't say ménage à trois. Like,
no.
Ménage à trois.
Yeah.
Like these like words like or like that. They're like they're French words, but they've like anglicized it or whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know what word I used to have such a hard time saying in English because all my time saying this word was in French because of French school.
Yeah.
Was I can't even say it now. I'm trying to think. Hypothesis.
Hypothesis.
Hypotenuse.
No, hypotenuse. No, hypotenuse.
Hypotenuse. I would only when I would
hypothesis in English. It's hypotenuse, I think, with an N.
I'm probably saying it wrong.
Hypothesis, like an actual hypothesis, like it's
my hypothesis.
Hypothèse, I think. Yeah.
Hypothèse.
Hypothèse is hypothesis.
Yeah, so I would only be able to say the French version. I'd have to like stop and like concentrate.
There's so many words, honestly, that are easier to say in French than their English like counterparts.
Yeah.
I mean? There's so many words. I'm like, why is it so difficult to say in English? I mean, if I were to say it in French, it would be so much simpler.
Yeah.
I can't think of an example right now, but
no, I know what you mean though. I do. Yeah. And I'm not even like a super fluent French speaker. Yeah. But I'm sorry, I got you distracted.
No,
you were saying your entourage was telling you something about acting.
Yes. So just to the point that you were making, when you get an audition, it's like you're literally spot on because it's an opportunity to basically perform when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like, you're there and then you have a mini audience, people watching you. I mean, look, it's great. Like, it's like 30 seconds where you're literally the center of attention.
Yeah.
And you're up on stage and you're performing. I mean,
totally. And
take it. Like,
take it. And if that kind of makes you nervous or, freaks you out of being like, oh God, there's the pressure on. Yeah. Think of it like you have 3 minutes then to live an experience.
Yep.
You have 3 minutes just to live.
3 minutes.
And it doesn't have to look a certain way or be perfect. I think that's the biggest thing for me that I've gotten more at peace with is that there's not really a right way to do it. I'm not saying it will be for everyone. I'm not saying it'll be like exactly what casting's looking for, but I don't know if they always know. I'm not sure. But all I can do is be authentic and show up as like honest as possible. And if it's what you want, then great.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Not, it's okay.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, you want to like honor the script and the character and what you've worked on, and just like, really trust it, honestly.
Yeah.
And then let them decide if that's the direction they wanna go with.
Yeah.
Well said. Let's go back to your not go back, but like I want to go to your I guess like your process a little bit. I want to know like exactly what do you, because obviously you've been in the game for a long time. You went to New York and then LA and then here and I don't know where else you're gonna be. We'll see. We'll tell.
Ask me tomorrow. Yeah.
We'll check it in like a month or two. Okay, but I'm guessing like you probably have like a very good idea of like your process when you actually look at a script. Like, do you like do like some script analysis? Do you memorize? Like, do you kind of follow like a bit of Ivana's like 12 steps? Like, what do you do with it that helps you really create the character that you want to?
No, I love homework. I love all that stuff. So again, like with an audition, sometimes there's just there's no time, right? Sometimes they're just
turnaround is
the turnaround's too quick and you just can't. If I have the time to do some of the stuff, then I will. But if I don't, I have to just trust, okay, like, again, I know the circumstances, I know what's happening. I always kind of think, okay, well, what do I want in this scene? Like, this is like the fast.
The basic stuff,
this is the fast basic if I have an audition. So I'll be like, okay, what do I want in this scene? What's happening? How do I feel about the characters in the scene or the characters that I'm talking about in the scene? What's at stake? I always kind of think like what do I want from you when I'm talking, but also like, what's kind of like the thing that I want in life generally, or like what's kind of the overall like thing that I'm carrying with me. And sometimes I can kind of distill it to kind of a thematic thing, because we all come into life. It's not like I'm thinking about the wounds of my past all the time, or like the great thing that happened to me on Tuesday. I'm not constantly thinking, but it lives in the subconscious.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So it's just kind of a little bit like of who this person is, what's their backstory.
It makes total sense because like we're talking right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if I ask you like, what do you want from me right now? But you're like,
I
just want to do the podcast with you.
I just want to do the podcast
and have a good time.
Yeah.
No, we're not saying it, but like subconsciously, that's what you're thinking.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing, like when we act out a scene, it's literally the same thing. We have these objectives that we don't say, but we know they're there.
Yeah, they live somewhere within us, for sure. So I'll kind of do that. If I try to memorize as much as possible because I just feel like I can, be more present. Especially I find in Vancouver, there is a little bit more of like a desire or a standard to be memorized. I felt like in LA, sometimes maybe they could be a little bit more lax about you like looking at the page and not being fully off book.
So where do you stand on that spectrum?
I like to be memorized if you can. I think it's okay if you have to look down and pull a line every now and then. But I think if I'm able to, yes, I just feel like I can be more present of an actor, especially with taping now.
Oh yeah.
Because you can have multiple takes of doing this thing.
You'll say your best one or whatever.
Yeah. But then if it's a job that I've booked, say,
so
then I can do the homework. I can kind of get into it more.
Right. So let's say that you booked the audition.
Yeah.
Right? Let's say you were day player or whatever, like
Yeah.
So I guess like where do you take the script from there? Do you really create a complete backstory of the character at this point, or you kind of just like go back to the objectives, the tactics, the obstacles, and all that good stuff?
Yeah. I mean, it kind of depends too, like what the project is, what the role is. I mean, I think you can do that for the character. I think sometimes for me, if I put too much work and maybe I get a little bit too heady when if I am just going to be, I shouldn't say just be, but if the role is asking me to be a day player and just talk to you about something that's not, I'm just helping propel the story, then like I don't have to worry about like my objective coming through. Let me just connect with you from a human experience. I'm just going to connect with you as a human being. And you know, I know how I feel about you. I know how I'm living my day in whatever it is I'm doing in the scene. But I don't have to worry about all that stuff coming through exactly. I do like to rehearse because I feel like, you know, on set, it can be kind of a nerve-wracking experience at times. So, you know, I'll meet with like friends at the very least, or maybe like a coach, and we'll run it and we'll work it.
Nice.
But yeah, whereas like if I was doing something that maybe is a bit more gritty and there's like, you know, maybe it's a recurring and there's more kind of going on with that character, then that's when I do like this kind of more, I love to journal. I love to think about like, you know, what was that person's backstory? Yeah. And then like let it all go. But at least it's like you're so familiar with that person. It's like you're wearing that dress that you're so familiar with, and it fits you really well.
Yeah, there's something about wearing the costume that really puts you into character, I guess.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I even mean like the psychological costume of it. You know what I mean? Just kind of knowing.
Yeah. There's no way
who is this person? Yeah. I mean, it's me, but like, who would I be in this life?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, do you recall a moment on set where things didn't go according to plan? Did you mess up your line? Did you embarrass yourself? Did you?
Oh my gosh! I mean, I've totally embarrassed myself. Like
Let's hear it.
I've definitely had moments where like you're doing it and then you get you know, you get nervous all of a sudden and you're really into it, and then you kind of like, oh my God, what's my line? You're so into it, and then you kind of like, oh my God, I blanked out. Like, what's my line? You know, I've definitely had that. I'm like, I can recall a few times being like, shoot, and like I don't know if they notice, but like there's like a few seconds where that feels like an eternity, and you're like, oh my gosh. But I remember like shooting something and well, two things come to mind. One was where like I could tell like they had booked me in this thing, and she gets kind of emotional, and they ended up kind of changing the scene so she wasn't emotional off the top because the circumstances prior to they kind of changed, they kind of cut parts of the scene, and it started off like differently than it had in the audition. So I was like, oh, interesting. Like, you're not like, I'm not starting the scene off upset. I'm talking to you like this, and then it has to get upset. And for whatever reason, I think maybe I was nervous. I was feeling kind of tight. So I wasn't feeling as like kind of relaxed, and then
on set, right?
While doing the scene, you know, as readily available to that emotion, you know what I mean? And then you're like, oh shoot, it's not coming, and I can tell it's what they want. They want me to get. So you have that moment of like panic of like, oh shit, like I'm not giving them what they want.
Yes, I'm not getting there.
But I think now in hindsight, I'm really grateful. I just was like, okay, like I had a moment of panic, and then I was like, all I can do is like be present with you. And just breathe. And just say my lines, and whatever comes, that's enough. You know, like however I'm feeling is what the character's feeling. Is what I'm feeling, and that's what I can give to the scene. And then the more I kind of went with that, the more relaxed I was, and then was able to kind of open up and have the emotion, that I think like the director I could tell was kind of like aiming for. And I'm not saying was it like, oh my God, this was my best work, but I was grateful for like that experience that felt kind of nerve-wracking in the moment, or at least initially, because it was such a great reminder of like, okay, you go through something that you feel like is out of your control. Like I thought, oh, I can deliver, I can be upset or cry at this moment. And if it doesn't go that way, you're enough. And just to kind of, like I said, surrender and just kind of be present and just listen and go with it. So it was a really great experience just of practicing that. And it was fine. It was totally fine.
No, I mean, it's totally fine. I think there's nothing wrong. Like, I mean, you're not always going to hit it. And sometimes, you may have rehearsed it, and, you were there in the rehearsals or whatever. And then you get there in the audition room on set, whatever, and it's just not working. Or,
or it goes a different route. And you know what? Then you kind of accept that like, hey, whatever route we're going, maybe this is going to take us somewhere interesting, or something that, or
maybe you'll find some new.
And then, it that relaxes you, and then it kind of opens you up to probably what you were aiming for in the first place, honestly.
Absolutely.
But I did have a moment of like, oh shit, like as it was like not happening, or like, you know what I mean? Your head starts to kind of race and you're like, I should just be present with you. What is going on?
Crazy. That's crazy. Were you embarrassed though? Like, I mean, did you feel like you were
Not so much embarrassed. I think I felt a little, like I remember the thought, I was like, oh shit, like I'm a little frustrated. Like I can, because you want to, because you want to do
really good,
well, yeah, you want to do what you think the service is, the scene, and what the director, I could tell because in the rehearsals, like I get what he wanted.
Yeah.
But then it was okay. We got there and it was fine.
Yeah.
But it was a great practice of like, letting go. And just being like, whatever, it's okay.
I love it. So you've been in the game for a little while. Obviously, you've seen the industry change from in-person auditions to self-tapes to, I don't even know if there's like another format we're going to see in the future. But so what do you feel about this? Like this new way of auditioning, like, did you like it when we used to go back? I mean, do you still go in the room?
Rarely.
Me too,
yeah, super rare actually. Like even, the callbacks that I've had, I mean, some things you just get booked off of your tape. And then
I noticed lately,
and
there's
then
no callbacks or anything, just
totally, you just you arrive on set. But then like I've done callbacks through Zoom, and that feels maybe a little bit awkward in some ways. But no, honestly, I don't really mind it. I don't really mind getting the option to tape. I think because I was more green, I did feel maybe a little bit more nervous as an auditioner, being in a new space and with live people there.
People watching you.
Yeah, there is.
Eyeballs on you.
There is kind of like this freedom and this joy of like getting to play when you're taping an audition at home.
Right.
And then you just, you send one or two that you like. But you're not worried so much about like impressing someone or performing someone. You can kind of get lost in it, in just the joy of doing the acting more easily.
Yeah.
And then, if it resonates and it's what they're looking for, then, great. Totally. That's like icing on it,
So would you say like you prefer this?
I kind of do. I see the benefit of going in the room and building that relation. Yeah. That relationship. I'm sure that would be really beneficial, but I appreciate, like the freedom that it gives you.
Yeah.
And
I feel like you can literally
the flexibility.
Like you could literally be anywhere. I mean, it could be
in
the Caribbean.
Oh my gosh, totally. And like
the beach for 1 second, then the next year.
I mean, we're all busy, right? Like, everyone is. So it's nice, like, if you have like a day job or you have, you have a kid, to not be like, oh shoot, I gotta get someone to babysit. You could do it, at your schedule's kind of needed spot. So
yeah, absolutely. Speaking of schedule, I do want to get there because you do have a kid, and then you also have like your other stuff on the side. So like, how do you manage all this? I mean, like, what's your schedule look like? I mean, how do you?
I mean,
are you training? Are you traveling? I mean, obviously, the thing of it is just being an amazing mom.
Thank you. I'm trying to be.
I'm trying to be. So yeah, how do you? What's your schedule like? How do you do all this?
I mean, that's very sweet. But I for one, I really love being busy. Like I kind of thrive on it energetically.
Yeah.
So I feel so lucky that, I have like my son, like I have like a nanny that can, provide that care. Yeah. When I do have to go do work and, or I should say when I get to do the work, cause it's such a privilege. And when I'm writing, I try to be intentional about like carving out time to write. So like I'm like such an avid student, I guess. So I love to always be in acting class, and I love to be in like a writing class. I started taking a writing class like online through UCLA as well.
That's crazy.
So it's been great. Like it's been really fun doing the extension. It's awesome. And you could do it from here. It's no big deal.
Yeah. I mean, English is not my first language. I can't write. I would have like a class.
I doubt that. No, you'd be fine. Honestly, you would be more than fine. I think like it's like acting. If you're just honest and you just write from a place of honesty.
Right.
Yeah, like it might need a polish, but
who cares?
Yeah, everyone has something to say. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not a trained writer. Like I'm new to this, but yeah, like when I had my writing job last year on that show, I would just kind of carve out the time every day to write. So we were hitting our deadlines. And when I'm doing these treatments or these pitches or sometimes these other full feature scripts, I have a writing partner. So that really helps with accountability.
Yeah. Love it. That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, but I love it. I just love, I love making things. I love being creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I'm getting as well from you.
Yeah.
You know, you like to be busy and just like create stuff. So what is the end goal here? I mean, where are we heading?
Oh my God. If I knew, Ollie.
Like you're writing, you're acting, like where is this all going?
Well, I feel like
the picture.
Yeah, I mean, like the writing thing, honestly, it kind of came out of like, what do they say? Like necessity is the birth of invention. Yeah, like it came out of like, I was in a slump. I hadn't booked anything acting wise at that time. And I was like, my friend and I was like, I'm going to write us a short and we're just going to film it to, you know, just to be in it so we can feel like we, you know, get to be creative.
Right.
And then it kind of snowballed into more and more writing opportunity. I was very lucky in that way. I love writing, but I think my first love is acting.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm like, you know, I'll write things. A lot of things I write in service of like a producer or a director, kind of what they're looking for and what they say, like, oh, this network might be looking for.
Yeah.
And I'm really grateful for those opportunities. But I'd love to write more and more things that just come purely from, it sounds very cheesy, but from my heart.
Right.
And what would I want to watch? And, you know, ideally, what if I was so lucky, what could I could be in that thing? What would that thing I would love to be in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good. So like when you say like you're writing, like are you writing because you want to produce that project? You want to build it, or it's just more like to write a story and kind of
with regards to the things that like are kind of more from my heart, or like the things for the producers.
I guess both, really.
For the producers, you know, the people that I know in this industry that I write with or write for, no, I'm not a producer. I'm just a writer on those projects. And yeah, that's been a really rewarding experience. I've learned a lot, and I'm really grateful to everyone for it.
Nice.
Those other things, though, that like I'm mentioning, like the stuff I'm working on in class, like at UCLA. Yeah, those are more things that I, you know, maybe would be involved in on some level as a producer.
Yeah.
I don't know. Producing, I don't know if it's like really calls to me.
Yeah.
But I love creating things. So if it's necessary, then I'll do it.
Yeah. It's no, the reason why I'm bringing this up is it's a pattern I notice with a lot of actors, especially on TV shows. Like you do see this a lot where a certain lead on a show, you know, on a couple seasons in, like they want to direct an episode or two, right? They wanna, you know, get into directing. People like not feel the need, but like I guess they like to also be behind the camera sometimes too. So I'm just wondering like if there's like some behind the camera aspirations and stuff like that.
Yeah, you know, directing, I've had like a taste of it here and there. Like I co-directed, like, well, I directed a portion of this short film, the first thing that I shot and wrote. But it was just one day of directing, but it was really fun. Yeah. And I got to work with like an awesome local actor, Duncan Ollerenshaw, who's amazing. If you know his work, he's like such a fantastic actor. Duncan Ollerenshaw. Okay. I think he was on Hell on Wheels for a while. Okay. He's a fantastic actor. So that was really fun. And then I directed two of my friends in like a small short, and it was really just to like, let's be creative and you know,
make stuff happen.
Make stuff happen.
Love it.
I loved it. I loved the control.
Yeah.
Directing gives you like you're kind of the captain of the ship.
You are.
And that was so fun.
Ship,
but I don't know if it's like my strongest ambition.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be, right? Like, as you said, like, you know, acting is your main priority.
Yeah, but
or your main focus should be.
Yeah, I love collaborating. I would love to make things that I feel really excited and passionate about. And I would love to write more and more of you know, material that really calls me.
Right.
You know, like I think one of my biggest inspirations is Taylor Sheridan, because he started as an actor. Yeah. And then he just kind of, you know, got to it and got writing, and he's now he's incredible. He's an amazingly talented writer and a very prolific one, and he's done very well. Yeah. I'm not saying like I'm not like a huge like Yellowstone fan even, but I just like I love westerns, and you know, being from Calgary, but I just admire how prolific he is, and I do think he's very talented. So as like an actor transitioning into like that role, that's super inspiring for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. So I guess like to go back to the original question, from an acting standpoint, like, are we trying to land like a lead role in a show? Are we just like, taking whatever it comes up? Right?
I mean, gosh, it's tough. Like,
Yeah.
I would ask the question to you. Like, of course, yeah. Would I love like that lead on a series or, series regular on a series?
Yeah.
Yes. I think my hope and like my prayer is that, when that happens, that it's something that I'm really passionate about. You know what I mean? That it's not just work for the sake of work and making money, but it's like something where I'm like, oh, I love this material. I love this script. I'm so connected to the script. And we all get connected to different things, but like something that for me that really resonates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Great answer. Now, we like, I'm a very analytical person. I think I told you this.
Yeah.
And sometimes
Yeah.
I do like, when I look at like the Vancouver industry as a whole, right? And I look at the shows and the stuff that are filming.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's no surprise that the top three on the cast sheet.
Yeah.
Always goes to
American.
the Americans, right?
Yeah.
So it's a very classical.
Yeah.
So it gets me thinking a little bit, right? I'm like, okay, I mean, if the top three always goes to the Americans, then where do we fit, really? I mean,
Right.
Do you think it's definitely possible. I guess like at this point, it's not like if it's possible.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to say is like, how, like, do you think we need to make some moves to LA, like to really get to those like roles, or like do you see this happening on, because I've definitely seen it happen, but it's really, really rare.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like where someone gets a lead
and crosses over into that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it does happen, but it's really, really rare. Except if it's Canadian productions, obviously that's like the exception.
Right.
But if it's like an American production, chances are they will just cast everyone from LA and then they'll fill in the other roles.
Yeah.
Here. Now, do you think that by staying here and just kind of like grinding out, we can land a lead role here, or do we need to make some sort of moves to LA at some point, get some sort of reps, or what do you think is the right move? Really.
Yeah, gosh, I mean, it's so hard to predict. I totally see what you're saying, because I feel like sometimes, we can feel a bit like a service industry.
Yes.
To kind of the American productions, and there's so many amazingly talented actors here.
Yeah.
And very prolific. Like they're working a lot about. But I see how like sometimes the opportunities that come to those actors, they're not maybe as like large as some of the American cast. And I don't really know. It's hard to say what the answer is, because I could be like, move down, and then maybe that doesn't go exactly the way we would hope either. I would say in general, and I've heard this from a lot of people in the industry, you don't want to move to the States prematurely.
100%.
You want to make sure you've got a solid foundation, like some good credits, strong rep down there.
Real quick.
Like some good, representation down there. And now, like, I mean, not as much films, down in LA in the States, but something where, you feel like you're not kind of starting totally new, just because the sea is so big down there.
Oh yeah.
It's so competitive and so saturated. I could see how it could be a little bit hard to kind of stand out in that shuffle. But I know what you mean. It's something I've thought about myself with Vancouver, of like, I'm so appreciative, but I'm like, oh gosh, like you wonder, like, is someone going to take a real chance on me? I don't know. Yeah. Maybe, because you do see it happen from time to time, but it's
super rare.
It feels a little bit less often.
Even when it does happen, I mean, like I don't think I've seen it where it's like a Canadian like a Vancouver local is like number one on the show.
Yeah.
I mean,
and maybe number one though, it requires, especially now, that person is has a huge following, is already famous.
Yes,
at that point,
like social status.
Yeah,
that's huge.
I will say this though, like I once, this was years ago, but I once tested like network tested for a CBS series. So it was an American series, and it would have
in CBS. You said, sorry.
CBS, yeah,
Okay,
on
got it.
CBS, yeah. And it was a U.S. series. I think it was like the same creators of like X-Files.
Okay.
And it wasn't for the number one, but it was the number two.
Pretty good.
So I guess why I'm saying that is I remember auditioning for that and being like, well, I'm never even gonna like,
Right, no
well,
chance.
no one's gonna even look my way. You know what I mean?
I'll get over like real quick. It's like,
Yeah, like I'll just
like they watch 5 seconds.
yeah, so obviously I did not book it.
Right.
I think someone from like the UK actually ended up booking that role.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is like, that was, I think maybe in some ways evidence that you could, at least were being considered closely if you're
Yeah.
going to go be network tested. And I have
the
some
fact that you
friends.
got auditioned, that's pretty good, right? I mean, like just that's good.
Yeah, I mean
Number
the
two.
audition, and then like I said, like because like a network test is like they kind of move you along a little bit, and then to see as it gets closer,
Yeah.
they make you sign all the paperwork and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that way, if it does go your way, they're kind of ready to go. So I was like, well, gosh, if it's getting to this point, then at least there's some serious consideration.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
all that, yeah.
so it could happen. It definitely happened. I mean, it didn't happen to me in that situation, but
yeah.
and I have some friends that have had some really big wins.
Yeah.
But I it's a very good question, and I don't know. It's something I think we're all kind of navigating.
True.
But also with like this,
Yeah.
obviously this like big sense of appreciation and humility too. That like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm so grateful also that there's such a flux of work where we can work as actors, but it's like, do you want to just be a working actor, or do you want to craft a
It
career?
comes down to what you really want.
Yeah.
And which is why I asked.
Do you want to be intentional about what you're working on?
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean in that
Because
sense?
some people are really happy, just like filling in these roles.
Yeah.
And they're a working actor. And
Totally.
they're fine with these roles without ever getting a lead. That's totally fine if that's what you want.
Yeah.
But if you really want to take it to the next level and get something juicier on a show,
Yeah.
then obviously like the same systems that you're using might not be the best.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Now, is that something that you envision for yourself? Like, do you feel like you want to get some sort of like American representation?
Yeah. So
further down the road, or?
I've had U.S. rep a good chunk of my career.
Oh yeah, you did have, yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, it wouldn't be listed. It's all
Right.
good.
Yeah.
But I left my rep down in LA while I was pregnant. So just because it seemed like a kind of the right time. Obviously I was taking a pause because I was visibly pregnant from acting. So it seemed like a good way to kind of part amicably.
You weren't auditioning when you were pregnant?
No, honestly, this representation, they were a good company, a bigger company, but I felt like maybe I got a little bit lost in the shuffle because I never auditioned.
Wow,
Like
okay.
very, like almost nothing.
So what did they tell you when they signed you on?
I don't know because
They
they
said,
were,
like, "Okay, we're gonna send you everywhere, blah blah blah."
yeah, I mean, it was interesting. Like
They buttered you up.
I don't know. I remember I cold submitted, and they had me tape something for them, and they responded really well to my tape. I was really lucky, and the guy called me right away, and he was like, "Hey, I want to rep you. I love your tape. I'm sending it to casting. I'm really excited about this." Obviously, I didn't book that audition,
Right.
but there was still a lot of enthusiasm, and then it just, I don't know what happened. I think maybe they just had bigger fish on the roster or too many,
so.
and so I left, and now I'm like, okay, I do need to, especially because I'm half American, I do need to nurture that as
Are you
well.
dual?
Yeah, I'm a dual.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. It makes it easier.
I'm so jelly. That's literally the best scenario to be in as an actor.
Yeah, it does
You
make things
never had a problem
easier.
working in the States.
Yeah, definitely. It's like one less thing to
That's
kind
so
of
sick.
worry about. You know what I mean?
Sick.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely need US rep. That's something I
Yeah.
really am currently like, okay, it's time, and
Yeah.
and looking in the pursuit of right at the moment. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like sometimes sometimes I just like wonder, like, would they work with like the Canadian rep as well? Like they would
Yeah.
work together.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah,
They do, right?
they
Yeah,
just
okay.
kind of CC each
So
other
it's not
on
like two
things.
different entities? Like,
No, I think they keep each other informed. In my experience, it's always been like people,
Okay.
you know, they work really amicably. You want to make sure
right.
I always ask, like in my past, I've asked Marie, I'm like, hey, I have an offer from such and such company.
Interesting.
Are you comfortable with that? And he's always been very open to it. And, you know, they get on a
Nice,
call and
okay.
chat, and it seems like if everything's good, then, you know, we move forward. But because I want my team up here to feel
Comfy, yeah.
comfortable. Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
we're all on the same team. You know what I
100%.
mean?
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
want to put them up for something and be like, yeah, I got myself like in the way agents, and just let you know,
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
there's our contact.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think they're used to it, honestly,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
working with US rep
For
as
sure.
well.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Especially like when you go big and you sort of like when you like you recur on a show and you know you get bigger and bigger.
yeah,
Obviously, like this stuff naturally happens,
yeah.
which is good. Okay, before we wrap this up, I do want to ask you, is there anything that you're working on right now as far as like it doesn't have to be like acting related, just
Yeah,
like could be
yeah, yeah.
anything really. Maybe you know you as Danny as like aspirations or even like you know New Year's resolutions or something. Anything that you're
Oh,
working on right now that we should wear out that we should look out for? I don't know.
look out for.
Like, you know, it's happening.
I shot a series last year. They've changed the name, but it was called Firebug, and now it's called Smoke.
Yes, I
Um,
actually heard of it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I've had some
yeah.
guests who told me about it.
Okay. Oh, very cool. Nice. Yeah. And I think it starts airing end of June.
Oh,
And it was really fun. It was my first recurring role.
wow, that's amazing. How many episodes you're on?
Well, so here's the thing. When I shot it, I think I was told I think it's 5,
Okay.
but you know, I know they've made some substantial cuts I know they've made some substantial cuts. So on IMDb, I think right now it says 5 episods, but I'm not
it
sure.
Smoke?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Smoke, right?
It's the Apple TV one.
Sick. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I don't know, you know, I'm not sure.
Young Renata.
Yeah, I'm not sure really what is gonna survive the cutting room, honestly, because
Yeah, yeah.
I do know that they've made a bunch of cuts to it, so
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
how
yeah.
prevalent my role is gonna remain. But
Yeah, I mean, it's
that
one thing to be on the show, and it's another to actually make the final cuts.
yeah, right. But it was
Yeah.
such you know, honestly, like it was like it's been my favorite TV experience so far. It was like honestly like just like the most rewarding acting experience. I had
Nice.
such a good time, and I love the writing so
Nice.
much.
So that was like your biggest role to date, right? Like the
Yeah, I booked something the year prior that felt like the biggest thing I had booked, but I got recast.
wait, what?
Well,
You booked it and then you got recast?
before this is before this series,
Got
but
it, yeah.
I booked a movie that to me seemed like the biggest thing I had booked.
Right.
Like I was probably like maybe it was a film, kind of like a horror revamp, but like kind of a bigger budgeted
Okay.
horror with some like names. I see names a bit like, you know, like our peers' names, you know.
Yeah.
But like Americans.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. And my role was probably like, I would say like number 4 on the call sheet.
It's pretty good.
So it was a pretty good role.
solid,
It was
yeah.
kind of like the title role because it was about this witch and whatever.
Right.
It was where I told you speaking French. And I remember auditioning.
Was it the French project?
It was an American project, but they needed this role to speak a little French here and there.
Right.
And I remember, I don't know how I kind of got on this train. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
But
no, you're good. I love that train. Let's stay on it. Let's stay on it.
I remember like obviously doing the audition, and then
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
doing like the callback, and
Yeah.
they had asked me to do a few different things because it was a very like physical role, and they would need you kind of like almost like on a bungee. It was like because it was like a crazy like flying type of stuff. So
Jesus.
they needed you to like see how athletic you could be, and
How did you sell that off on the tape?
they literally made me like hey, can you go do like some like athletics and tape yourself doing some stuff on camera,
That was
tape
the
yourself
notes?
doing
Wow.
with the director after. They're like, can you do like some interpretive dance kind of thing? And there was, I mean, it was so funny. There was just so many like
In
funny
the audition or like a separate
separate
Okay, separate
yeah
tape,
after the callback,
acrobatics or whatever.
yeah, they kind of were like, hey, can you do this? Anyway,
Crazy.
long story short, they you know they call me, or they call my rep, and my rep calls me and is like, hey, like great news, you booked it. So they're just going to work on your offer. Are you able to fly to Montreal to go do a test with the makeup, because they want to like do the prosthetics?
Is that where it was?
It was filming. It was filming in Montreal. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
nice.
yeah. And I couldn't go that weekend, and it was
What was the project called?
it's called Witchboard.
Okay.
Yeah. And I couldn't,
I feel like I had like something. Anyways, yeah.
oh yeah. I mean, maybe you auditioned for it. Who knows, right?
Yeah, because I auditioned for something similar. But I
Okay.
think, anyways, yeah, just
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, they ended up being like, oh, it's okay. We don't have to do the makeup test. We'll do it when she comes up to film in Montreal, like next month or whatever.
Right.
But I didn't hear, like, like a week passes and I haven't gotten my contract back.
Yeah.
A week passes and I'm like, hey, what's going on? So my
And then
reps,
you knew at the time that was like your biggest role to date. You're like,
yeah. And I was not,
must have been so excited. Yeah.
I was excited. It's not that I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to change my life. Like, again,
Right.
I wasn't like the lead on a series or like in a Steven Spielberg movie.
Right.
But I remember thinking like, oh, this is like, it was like a director that had some big hits.
Yeah.
And there was some like more names attached, and I had a substantial
number 4,
role.
that's pretty
Yeah, I
good,
had
yeah.
a substantial role in it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like the title role, and there was like
Yeah.
a Deadline article. And so I was like, oh, like, yes, this is like maybe something that was like a nice step forward.
Yeah.
And when you get those
Yeah.
opportunities, your reps are really on you and they call you right away. You're like, oh, I can tell, like, this is a good thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, so like the week passes, I don't hear any, like I don't get my contract, and the week passes, and I follow up, and basically I get this email. Casting sends an email to my reps and is like, hey, unfortunately we talked to production and the financiers are making them recast Dani because she's not enough of a name. They want a name in that number 4 spot.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I got recast.
That was the reason.
Yeah, which I understand. Like a lot of this is
yeah.
commerce,
Right.
So
it's a
they,
business. It's a show business. At the end.
yeah, and I'm sure the actress they hired is amazing. Like she's French and she's was on an Apple TV show, like a series regular and whatnot. And I'm sure she did a great job. But I was like really hurt at the time. I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, like,
Man, that must have been like a crushing blow.
well, I think what it is for me is like, sometimes, we were talking about when you get these lucky opportunities that feel like don't come to you as a Vancouver actor, you get these hits that you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't think it was possible for me to even book this. Right.
But the fact that you actually got.
So when I got that call, I was like, oh my gosh, it felt so
It is
like,
possible.
I felt like, oh my God, I saw like a unicorn. Like it felt so lucky. Yeah. And then to have it then be taken away for something so outside of my control, I was like, there was a part of me that was like, okay, I'm done. Like, I just can't, like, I can do my best, but like, if I book something and it can still go away, oh my gosh, like, how is this ever going to work? And
yeah, because you feel like things are going against you, right? That like when something like this happens, like I worked my butt off. I feel like I'm doing everything right. And then something like this where it's not even your looks at this point. It's just your social status, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so superficial.
Yeah, and I was coming off being pregnant, so I hadn't worked in a little while, and I felt like I just was like, oh man, I felt really like defeated. But so that when you were asking me like, was that the biggest thing that I had booked? Prior to that felt like the biggest thing I had booked, but obviously it did not ultimately come my way.
Yeah.
But then, you kind of, the thing is I love acting so much.
Yeah.
That like, if I could give it up, I would, because it's really hard.
Yeah.
It would be easier in a lot of ways to give it up. But I think I always ask myself, would I be more sad because there's a lot of heartbreak in this industry, but would I experience more heartbreak in continuing or in letting go of it? And the answer for me is really clear. It would be in letting go of it. So ultimately, I was hurt by that, but I was like, I'm going to get back on the horse.
Yeah, you did. I mean,
here I am.
You did a recurring not long ago. So maybe that was needed for you to get that. I don't know.
The truth is look, everything's sweet in retrospect, but like, I didn't feel great about that script of that movie. Like at the time I felt a little iffy. Like there was something was off for me. Just like, I don't know, like I'm a person like of faith, right? And I was like, I don't know, I feel like, I'm not sure. Is this kind of like in conflict with that? And now in retrospect, I'm kind of almost like, maybe it was withheld from me for reason, with intention, you know?
Got it. Would you like, for example, like, I mean, are there some like no goes like when it comes to like roles like because I'm
Yeah.
trying to just make sense of what you said, like I'm a person of faith and everything.
Yeah.
So let's say there's like a role that is just really outside of your faith and stuff like that, like would that be kind of like a no go?
Yeah. You know, it's so funny because I don't know if I could easily articulate what that would look like, where I was like, oh, I don't want to touch that. Because I love, don't get me wrong, I love like really gritty
Yeah.
things. Like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm my most free and maybe like most comfortable in work that is like very like gritty. Like, you know, in Smoke, I'm not playing like a nice person.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I love it, and I like I feel like I can do my best work in that type of
Yeah.
material.
Yeah.
But there's just things like you read something, and if it feels like kind of, I don't know, it's hard to articulate, but if it feels
No, I
like
hear
kind
you.
of like what's the point? Is it glorifying something kind of dark?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like there's something to the material that you're like, oh, I feel like, you know, what's the intention here? Does it feel really like
Yeah. I mean,
gratuitous, or you know what I'm saying?
totally.
Then I
And
don't
like
want to do
sometimes
it.
like I'm reading some scripts, I'm like sometimes I'm just like not even like interested in it. I'm like, it's not that this kind of story doesn't really speak to me.
Yeah.
It's not, I understand it needs to be told, but sometimes I do feel a desire where I'm like, maybe it's for someone else to tell it, not me.
Yeah.
You know, and like
Yeah.
it's not it's like a bad story, but it's just like it's not something that you, as you said, like you relate to or you see yourself like kind of, you know, doing it, I guess. Okay, so that's good. So I like,
Sorry, I think I got us a little sidetracked when
I
when I answered the
sidetracks.
one thing. I
I
was
love
like, well,
sidetracks.
actually, I got a story for you.
yeah. Yes, so like as far as like, so you know, we're gonna be, you know, looking out for Smoke, young Renata, that's gonna be good. And you see, you're not playing a pretty character in that one, you know.
No, I'm not. But like, it was so fun. It was like a great character.
Can't wait to
Again, I'm not like, I know
Yeah.
some things have been cut back, so I'm like, I'm not sure how like
Yeah.
prevalent I am in the story anymore. But yeah, it
I
was
love
just
it.
so fun to be a part of it.
I love it.
Yeah,
That's so sick.
yeah,
Is there anything that you're working on? I mean, it doesn't have to be like actor related.
yeah.
Any hobbies you're trying this year?
Yeah,
Anything that you're
no, I
trying?
love
Anything that
that.
you,
Yeah, no, this is such a fun question.
yeah. I love it.
I feel like my intention this year is really to be like
Yeah.
artistically rich.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so with that, like in mind, I think I'm getting better at saying no to things. And
You should, yeah.
do you know what I mean? And maybe that is like
Yeah.
an audition that you're like, oh, this doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
But maybe it's like a writing opportunity that I'm like, I only have so much time, and like I said, I write often as like almost like a service provider. So I'm like, maybe it's saying no to some of those writing stuff so I can then focus on the writing that I really am excited about and drawn to. So my intention is just to be really artistically like nurtured and
Love it.
create things that, like I say, come from like an honest place, like a heartfelt place.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
Did you make this a resolution in the new year?
You know, I
Like,
didn't, but it kind of just emerged as like this, you know, these past couple months have sort of like developed. I'm like, wait a minute, like
Yeah,
what
yeah.
what do I want? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it, yeah.
Yeah.
I think 2025 is gonna be like I mean, it has been slow, obviously. Like I'm not,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, of course.
as far as like auditions, but I do feel like, you know, the second half of the year is gonna pick up and it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
for-
And I don't know, like you say you don't write, but I think like it's so cool that you're
yeah.
this is creative still.
I
You know what I
like,
mean?
someone
You're
would look
making
at
your
this
own
like,
stuff.
This guy doesn't write. That's crazy. The space says otherwise.
Yeah. Well, but I also think like creativity comes in so many forms. So like you're making this podcast,
Yeah.
that's birthing something. That's
Yeah.
creating something.
It
That's
is,
amazing.
yes.
Yeah.
I always like wanted to do this, and again, I call this podcast breakthrough for a reason. It's just because we wanna inspire people that, you know, are listening.
Yeah.
You know, they have, because like I've been there. You know, I know what it's like to like watch something and be like, oh yeah, I want it so badly, and then, you know, I would like watch people like, oh man, I wish I was like I had this. I wish I could do this. Damn, you know, you would get jealous. I mean, like it's just like, you know,
Yeah.
like we all have it in us.
It's an
like,
ache. Yeah.
Yes, of course. And
Yeah.
then I'm like, you know what? You know, at the end of the day, you're happy with that person, and you're like, that just drives you to get better. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of people like, you know, sitting at home right now, and watching and listening and be like, yo, like and it doesn't have to be like acting. Like it could be like, some people are like stuck in their jobs and they deserve better.
Yeah.
Or, they're just scared to say something because they don't know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? So like, it's why I call it breakthrough. It's just because I want people to know that it doesn't have to be something big.
Yeah.
Like,
you're right. It can be like a micro step if it's in the right direction.
Absolutely.
If it's like aligning with, what really fills you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally get, oh my God, it's so funny as we're like talking. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so bad. I have another project that I co-wrote last year that I like didn't even think to like be like, oh yeah, that's coming out. That's also coming out. That's coming out like probably.
Make sure we forget nothing.
I'm so sorry. More just because I feel rude to like.
No, don't
my
be.
co-writer that I'm like, I'm very excited about. Yes. And I'm like, wait, that thing too.
Right. My co-writer's like watching. It's like, yo, how did you miss this? Are you kidding me? We've been working on this for 4 months.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, you're not excited about that thing. That is. It just feels like such a process. I kind of forget that, like, oh yeah, we're finishing finally. We're finishing. Yeah.
I love it.
But that would be my biggest thing is like,
that's so cool.
Try to take a step in that direction, like create whatever it is you feel called to. That is in your control.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. There's so many things within our control. Obviously the way we look and our social status is not one of them, but there's so many things that we can work on. It's been such a pleasure to have you.
You're so sweet. Thank you.
That was such a cool episode. Looking forward to having you again, hopefully in a few months next year, whenever you're available. And I mean, if you're still around, Vancouver, and California, and
the wind.
the UK, maybe next. I don't know. We'll see what life takes you. Well, Dani, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence on this episode. And we'll see you soon.
See you soon. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, anytime.